7 immigration scams that you've probably already encountered. That's what you're going to be covering in today's video, and you want to stick up to the very end of this video because we are going to look at the most common Canada immigration scams to look out for and protect yourself against. We will also look at the best tips for minimizing the damage if you have already been scammed. Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, my name is 𝙏𝙗𝙖𝙣 and this is Travel with 𝙏𝙗𝙖𝙣, your #1 YouTube channel for all things travel, working abroad, living abroad, and studying abroad. So you want to make sure that you are subscribed to the channel, and once you have done so, make sure to also hit the notification bell. It's on the right hand side of the subscribe button so that every single time I shoot a new video, you do not miss out. Shockingly common scams that you may have already fallen victim to, you have been exposed to, or been targeted with. And because the numbers are incredibly shocking, I thought that why not talk about this Canada immigration scam so that I may warn any of you out there and also provide tips for those who may have already been scammed. So the #1 common immigration scam that you probably already encountered is the phishing scam. So this is whereby you are presented with a site or a website and asked to log in or share your personal information. For example, your passport details, your username and password, usually by a website that looks like a legit place to be entering this kind of information. And usually it is an email that is sent to you and you're asked, for example, to enter some very important information, or you are told that you have won, for example, the Canada permanent residence, or you have received an invitation to apply. So this is an immigration scam that is very common and you have to watch out for it. So how do you know if let's say an email address is genuine? Because sometimes they would lie to you like they're the Canadian government, or maybe they're from IRCC or from Job Bank. So you want to look out for the ending. So for example, if it's 𝙏𝙗𝙖𝙗𝙗@canada.ca, then you know it's a genuine one, yeah? Or if let's say it's an email address from a Job Bank employee, it would come, like, for example, like 𝙏𝙗𝙖@jobbbank.gc.ca. So the .ca at the end or the .gc.ca is one way you can tell if an email address is indeed a Canadian government email address. The #2 very common Canadian immigration scam is this guys who will take a profile picture of your favorite YouTuber. Like in this case, there are people who take my profile pictures and then they create fake YouTube channels, and usually these YouTube channels would be a WhatsApp number, and then they would come in the comment section. Like if you asked a question, they would be like, hey, get in touch with me in this phone number and this WhatsApp number and blah, blah, blah. And once you get to their inbox, they are gonna scam you of all your money. They con you of all manner of things and lie to you. They're gonna give you jobs and blah, 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 blah. So this is a very common one, and you must have seen in my community post. Usually I try my level best to be ahead of the scammers. I try to delete their comments and come and put them in the community tab so you can tell these guys are lying. So guys, I do not have WhatsApp. Let nobody lie to you. They're gonna take my profile picture and claim to be me. Those are scammers. Do not listen to them. I have shared my email address in the description box at the bottom of this video. You can contact me. However, kindly note, I receive so many emails and it's gonna take a while before I get to your email, and especially if your question is very personal and it needs a lot of research on my part. But the easiest, fastest way for me to get back to you is in the comment section. Those I try to respond to within 24 hours. So if you have a burning question and you need an immediate response from me, leave your question in the comment section and I will try my level best to answer it. The #3 most common Canada immigration scam you've probably already encountered is people who ask you to pay lots of money so that they can provide for you, I don't know, Canadian visa, immigrate you to Canada, give you jobs and blah, blah, blah. So guys, one of the reasons why I started this YouTube channel is because I understand that working with an immigration agent is a very costly exercise. And I try to share with you videos that cover tips and to motivate you to apply for your own, to immigrate to Canada even without the help of an immigration agent. So if you can afford an immigration agent, well and good. If you cannot, you can still immigrate to Canada even without the help of an immigration agent. I share very helpful videos on this channel. You can also visit the IRCC website for more information. But what these scammers will do, they will ask you, for example, to pay for forms, pay for this, pay for that, even before you start any step with them. So that's one way of knowing that an immigration agent is a scam. They will ask you for money upfront before they even do anything. They're going to charge you for forms which are already available free of charge on the IRCC website. So I'm going to leave a link in the description box of where you can find this Canada, whether it's a visa, temporary visa, or a permanent resident visa, where you can find the immigration forms and fill them out by yourself. Something else, the Canada government, Canada.ca, has a list of designated or authorized immigration representatives, and I'm also going to leave a link to that site where you can visit that website and check if somebody who's purporting to be an authorized immigration agent or a citizenship representative is indeed genuine. Don't be scammed. Before you engage anybody, do your due diligence. Go to that website and confirm that they are indeed authorized by the Canadian government to represent people who are seeking immigration to Canada or even seeking citizenship in Canada. However, I try my level best to guide you so that you can still immigrate to Canada even without an agent or a representative. And then the other most common Canadian immigration scam is those guys who tell you to pay for your LMIA, that is the Labor Market Impact Assessment. This is a document that some employers in Canada who want to hire foreign workers have to present to the Canadian government to show that they have indeed advertised for these jobs internally, and there is no Canadian citizen or Canadian permanent resident who is either qualified or willing to take up this job. So ideally, the government charges their employers 1,000 Canadian dollars for every position that they want filled by a foreign worker, and it is their obligation to pay the government. It is not your obligation to pay for your LMIA. So if you find somebody purporting to ask you to pay for an LMIA, they are most probably a scam, and you should take off as soon as possible. LMIA payment is the responsibility of the employer and not your responsibility as a foreign worker. The other immigration scam that is very common is people who ask you to pay for jobs. Generally, you are not supposed to pay for a job, and most of the people who ask you to pay for jobs are usually fake jobs. And any genuine employer who really wants to hire you in Canada as a foreign worker will be willing to give you the necessary requirements of the job and take you through the reasonable interview process without having to pay for a job. So you have to really watch out for these scams. And then the other most common Canadian immigration scam is fake ECA agencies. So this is basically those people who come and pose like, hey, I'm gonna give you an ECA report, I'm gonna give you an educational credential assessment report. Guys, the Canadian government has an official designated list of organizations that are authorized to give you an educational credential assessment report. So basically, this is the report that you get to show, especially if this is especially for those who have graduated or gone to school outside of Canada, and you pass your transcripts through these designated agencies, and they compare what you studied, that it's actually up to standard and matches the equivalent in Canada. So currently there are 5 organizations that are designated and authorized for you to get an ECA report from. So we have the Comparative Education Service, University of Toronto School of Continuing Studies. We have International Credential Assessment Services of Canada. We have World Education Services, also commonly known as WES. We have International Qualifications Assessment Services, also known as IQS. And then we have the International Credential Evaluation Service, the British Columbia Institute of Technology. So if you want to have your credentials evaluated for Canada, then you need to approach any one of those organizations, the 5 I have mentioned. And again, I'm going to leave a link in the description box at the bottom of this video where you can access these websites. However, if you plan to work for a large employer or a regulated occupation, you may need to have your assessment done by a specific designated organization. So you need to check with your employer or the regulatory body for your occupation for more information. So for example, if you are a physician under NOC code 3111 or 3112, you need to have your primary medical diploma assessed by the Medical Council of Canada. If you are a pharmacist, that is NOC code 3131, you also need a license to practice, and the Pharmacy Examining Body of Canada must do your assessment. So if you're in a position where you don't need a license, one of the other designated organizations can assess your credential. But if you need a license to work in Canada, then you're going to have to go to your regulatory body in the province where you plan to live to find out if you need a license to practice your intended occupation. And this regulatory body will guide you to the best designated organization to assess your educational qualifications. So the main challenge with these fake immigration agents is that they could take up your money, they will take up your money, and sometimes they would lie to you that they're gonna fill in the applications for you and they do not. Or alternatively, they may actually fill in the applications for you, but they may enroll you in the wrong immigration pathway. Canada has more than 100 immigration pathways, and the onus is on you or in your authorized representative to make sure that you are applying through the immigration pathway for which you are eligible and you meet the basic requirements. Well guys, that's it for today in terms of these common Canadian immigration scams that you've probably come across. As usual, if you found this video helpful, please remember to give it a thumbs up, leave a sweet comment below, and share it with all other people that might also find it useful. Thank you for staying up to the very end of this video. I definitely look forward to meeting you on the next one. Bye guys.